combinations.
Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
Well, this is what we've came for. Everybody's finding their seats, anticipating what is certainly to be an amazing night as we celebrate the first ever championship matchup of the American Football Association. It's the New England Patriots and the Oakland Raiders. It's a neutral field. Nobody's got the upper hand. We are excited and ready to crown a champion here in the Superdome for Season 1 of the American Football Association, the game where names will be remembered and legacies will be cemented. Cameron Duty here on the call with you, and it's good to be able to finish this season right here where we started it all in the AFA. So many weeks ago, but it feels like the blink of an eye. The two teams that we have watched consistently perform this entire season, the New England Patriots and the Oakland Raiders, find themselves here in this championship matchup. A lot has changed from the start of the season. We don't have time to do a full year in review, obviously, but the fact is these two teams have continued to grow. The rosters for these teams have continued to flourish, and now by defeating the two teams in the semifinal round, both of these squads have made it to the pinnacle of the American Football Association. One team will take home the Evan Lacey Trophy. Who is it going to be? We know for sure that the Patriots will receive to start this game, and the Raiders will defend the North Goal. As we said, here in the Superdome, a beautiful atmosphere to start this game. A beautiful setting. No wintry weather conditions to speak of. And on Friday the 13th, one team's going to come out a champion. One team hopes to not end up in the slaughterhouse. Kickoff is underway. The Patriots will receive, and they'll start from the 26-yard line. Let's say hello to the starting offense of the New England Patriots, led by quarterback Cannon McAllister, who came in about 3 weeks into the season and has made a great great change in this league. How about the big fullback, Thaddeus Bubba, one of the toughest fullbacks around? The running backs are the Big Stepper and Matt Jackson. The wide receivers are Jebediah Butters, Kool-Aid, and Marley Cush. And at tight end, it's Quinchester Baggins. On first down, here's McAllister to throw. It is tipped away by a guy named Tyron Voss, who makes it a habit to deflect footballs in that manner with which he does. Let's take a look at the Raiders' defense. The left guards, Jackson Oakley. The defensive tackle, Colin Richards and Kevin Beers. The linebackers, Nono Drew and DeMarcus Demolition. The two cornerbacks, Tyron Voss and Tater Tots. As we pause for a minute to see this big run by the Big Stepper. And as we finish this Raiders starting lineup, we round out the free safeties, Van Lacey and DJ Kilgannon. Back to the replay. Big lines by that offensive hole. And look at the Big Stepper, able to take advantage of the gaps that have been allowed for him. As we said, the big offensive line moving and making big holes in the coverage. And he runs for about a gain of 11. This rushing attack, a good two-headed tandem between the Big Stepper and Thaddeus Bubba. And once more, you see them going to work. Yeah, grab some snacks there. Of course, if you're at home, put your feet up. Hopefully you've got some wings, some pizza, or whatever the snack is of your choice as you watch this championship fight. Gain of 3 on first down. 2nd and 7 coming up here. Here's McAllister. Another give. We've seen him keep it on the ground pretty much exclusively. He did have that one pass attempt a little bit earlier. Picks up a handful more. We've got the first big 3rd and 4 of the game. The Patriots were able to escape Foxborough, a snowy Foxborough, with a victory over the San Francisco 49ers in what was a tight contest. And the Raiders at home in sunny California had a dominant victory over the New York Giants. Here's McAllister throwing, batted away. That is number 52 on the coverage for the Oakland Raiders. That is Jude on the coverage, as you see. And that will bring up a 4th and 4, so a solid drive to start with for the New England Patriots. Heavy on the run until the Raiders defense, which is so good. We've mentioned some of those all-stars there in that lineup. They cracked down and put the brakes on this drive. So now the Patriots will have to punt it away. Fielded at the 20. Now cutting upfield. One man misses a tackle out to the 31-yard line. And that is where Woodson brings it back out to. All right, so the Raiders, led by, of course, quarterback Brady White. As you know, Brady White, the one player here in this game, this AFA Championship game, who has championship experience from other leagues that he has played before coming here and helping get this AFA off and rolling. So he's got that experience. The running backs, Ashton Genty and Isabella Maccabees. The wide receivers are Dillian Voss, Trevor Austin, Chris Collinsworth, Brian Kowalski. And at tight end, number 81, we've got Dick Dangles. Now, here is a give to Tangenti running right into the line of scrimmage, trying to plow his way through, and he is stopped. Let's mention this Patriots starting defense. The defensive tackles, Doc McStuffins. The defensive end is O.J. Peppers. The two linebackers are Trey Ingram and Brandon Robinson. The cornerback is Trayvon Austin. The free safety is Joey Cronin. And on special teams today, you'll see Brody Pierre as kicker. There once more is Tangenti with a run. Doesn't get much. Very limited. That's Trey Ingram who makes the stop, getting some help up off the turf there. And it's 3rd and 8. A great atmosphere here inside the Superdome today. As we said, these two teams battling it out for AFA supremacy. Here's Brady White going deep his first time, and he finds his man, Trevor Austin. And they're going to go no huddle. Look at this, an up-tempo that we haven't seen much. Oh, and you see why, of course. So trying to secure that catch, but New England quick to challenge. They're going to see if Trevor Austin was able to get both feet in bounds. Of course, he's pleading his case on the sidelines. Let's take a look. Going under the hood here of the replay camera, let's see what we've got. Of course, a beautiful throw by Brady White. To me, that looks good. That's on one view.
After review, the pass has been ruled incomplete.
But somehow the official must have seen something I did not, of course, from up here in the booth. The ruling on the field is overturned. New England comes away with a heck of a challenge to take away that big throw on third down. The completion to Trevor Austin, null and void. I thought that his feet were in. I had questions about maybe the ball control, if he was able to hold on to the football securely. The official, if DJ Kilgannon was here, he certainly would probably have something to say about that. But it is overturned, and so the Raiders have to punt it away. Both defenses winning the fight on the first series today. This was brought back out to the 35-yard line, which is where New England will start for their second drive of this American Football Association championship game right here on YouTube. As we said, what a perfect way to end the week here. Some Friday night championship football. Now here is McAllister going to throw deep down the seam into double coverage. Van Lacey there on the deflection, able to bat that one away. That's Quinchester Baggins, the intended target. This Raiders defense, a very tough defense to throw against. You know, we've mentioned Tater Tots and Tyron Voss, the two cornerbacks. They have done a fantastic job this entire season. Ball Hawks. All season long. Here's McAllister rolling out left, throwing back deep downfield, but he's got his man. He goes back to Quinchester Baggins. And maybe, you know what they say, sometimes it pays to go back to the well. And that is exactly what McAllister does. We'll get a chance to look at this beautiful replay, an arching pass. And that is really all about timing. It was one-on-one coverage between Kilgannon and Baggins. And you can see he kind of got the jump on the ball there, brings that one down before Kilgannon can adjust to make a play on it. And the Patriots are in the red zone for the first time today. Inside of 5 minutes remaining in this opening quarter. And wrapped up high around the shoulder pads is the halfback, the big stepper. That's DeMarcus Demolition, the middle linebacker, with a very appropriate last name. He's been wrecking offensive lines as well as backs and receivers this entire year. 2nd and 10. McAllister slings it, puts it up there. It's a touchdown. How about Marley Cush able to take a really interesting route there and get under the football that Cam McAllister just put a perfect touch on this replay. You'll see what I mean. Look at McAllister. He floats it up and puts it in the air long enough for Marley Cush to quite literally get under it. And he brings that one in for the touchdown. They tackle him past the goal line, and the New England Patriots score first here in the early stages of this AFA Championship game. Here is the kicker, Brody Pierre. It's up and it's good on a 4-play, 65-yard drive that took less than a minute. The Patriots, they meant business. They went to the air early and often, and it paid off. How will Oakland respond? We've already had that very interesting challenge that certainly overturned a fantastic catch by Trevor Austin that negated the Raiders and forced them to punt. It was then after that, on the ensuing drive, that the Patriots were able to go right down the field and score. McAllister there talking to his coordinators and celebrating a little bit the job well done on that opening drive, but a lot of football left to be played, and one of the most high-flying offenses, or one of the top high-flying offenses here of the American Football Association, ready to take flight again on their second drive today. Here's White, drops back, 3-step drop before he unloads, trying to get his fullback involved on the play. It is incomplete, popped out there by the New England Patriots defender. That'll stop the clock at 4:21 here in the, as we said, opening frame of the first ever AFA Championship. Can you believe we're here, folks? What an exciting day it's certainly been leading up to this anticipation the whole day. And take a look at Brady White as he finds Chris Collinsworth. And no huddle is something the Raiders certainly plan to do today. You see him trying it again. Back to the line to try to keep New England from getting set. Brady White throwing into a pile, and it's incomplete. But they will not take any time, folks. Even on the incompletion. Back to the line they come. 2nd and 10. They hand it off to Tangenti, who picks up 4. 3rd and 6. And here we go, folks. As we said, not wasting a single second today are the Oakland Raiders. 3rd down. Brady White throws it. It's tipped and almost intercepted. It's a good play by the cornerback, Trayvon Austin, who almost came away, as I said, with the interception. But he does get the incompletion. And it's 4th and 6. Okay, so an interesting thing that we're seeing out of the Raiders today. Now, it didn't prove well for them that time, but they really are wanting to go with the no-huddle offense here. And as we said, even on plays that go for negative yards or no yards at all, they still are hurrying back to the line, trying to keep this Patriots defense off kilter there, if you will. And so this fielded return will take them back out to the 15-yard line, which is where Cannon McAllister will take over. Already up by 7. The Patriots, right now, you would say, with the upper hand, as that pass is incomplete. Tater Tots doing a good job on the coverage on Marley Cush and jarring that ball loose before he could secure it. And we have a 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10. Ball at the Patriots, 15-yard line.
One man in the backfield, 2 receivers. Here is the motion, sending the big stepper out to the right. Empty set now. Here's McAllister going to step up, and he gets hit. Oh, man, he just ran right into the waiting arms of Kevin Beers, a big man who come up with a big sack last week in the semifinal game against the New York Giants. And he does it there, McAllister. We have seen in the weeks past, he has been working to step up in the pocket and throw more. At times, it's actually caused him to have get that foot across the line of scrimmage there and cause a penalty. There's a throw as Cush is incomplete, and that drive is ended by DJ Kilgannon, who breaks that one up. But again, back to what I was saying, we've seen a lot more of McAllister stepping up in the pocket to throw, and on that previous play that puts them behind the sticks, in stepping up on that pocket was Kevin Beers waiting. On that incompletion right there, that was an opportunity for McAllister to just try to sail it down the right sidelines and hope that one of his receivers could come up with it. And DJ Kilgannon, the strong safety, said, no, sir. So that drive short-lived, and the Raiders will have fantastic field position here. Their defense doing remarkable, and they'll actually start from the New England 38-yard line. If there was ever a time to capitalize, it's right now for the Oakland Raiders to try to draw even in this contest. Here's Brady White, shotgun formation with Tangenti to his left. White going to throw, completes to Austin. Will we see the no huddle?
Number 52 with the tackle.
No, they will go back to the huddle this time to talk things through. Still not a lot of time that they take there in the huddle, but they don't go hurry up anyway. Here's trips to the left for Brady White on 2nd and 6. White to throw, setting up kind of a slant towards the middle of the field, a little too far ahead of Trayvon Austin and in the area there, or it was Trevor Austin rather, and it was Trayvon Austin who was in the area. Austin against Austin in this championship game. The defense gets the better of that play. 3rd and 6. Right now, you can tell it may be nerves. It may be a little bit of anxious energy, but not able to really connect as we've seen all season long up to this point on the offense of the Raiders. It could change here. There it is. Brady White. You knew it was coming, and he does find Trevor Austin down the left sideline. That's the connection we're used to seeing all season long. Split back formation, and look at White. Just throw that one in there beautifully over the head of Trevor Austin, who has his man beat. And it is 1st and 10. Just outside the 10-yard line, spotted at the 11. Here is a run, and that is Tangenti, who picks up 2. And that is all he's able to get. It's Brandon Robinson, the middle linebacker, who comes up to shoot the gap and make the stop. 2nd and 8, and we see a man in motion. That's the wide receiver, Dillian Voss. And here's a run. Tangenti cuts it back left side. A pretty good hole to run through, but he is tackled quickly around the legs. He fights for a handful, and we've got a big 3rd and 4 coming up here. Oakland wanting and needing to show that they can convert this. They've got to get inside the 1 for a 1st and goal. They may just go for the touchdown. Outside route, and it's blocked. It's batted away by Law as he was on one-on-one coverage with Trevor Austin. And at the very last minute, you've seen Law's hand get around there and just deter that ball from making its way into Austin's hands. And now, for a 21-yard attempt, here are the Raiders to try to get on the board for the first time in the AFA Season 1 Championship. The kick is good. And the Raiders no longer scoreless on the board with 1:12 left in this opening quarter. So they were able to take that excellent field position. The drive started at the 38-yard line. A couple of nice throws by Brady Wyatt before the Patriots defense was able to stiffen things up. And it's a field goal that gets the Raiders on the board first today. Not a touchdown, but it is 3 points, so that does make it a 4-point game. But the Patriots getting the ball back here, and this is returnable out to the 29-yard line, which is where we will start this series here for the New England Patriots. You know, we've a lot of talk coming into this game was about this Raiders defense and just how stingy they were. This Patriots defense coming out and really making a name for themselves early in this opening quarter, limiting this Raiders offense so far. Here's McAllister stamping up, throwing. He has a man. Oh, did he ever? Wide open down the seam, but DeMarcus Demolition, who was clearly maybe a step behind that intended wide out, able to, again, get his hand up there. No position to really intercept it, but he did get his big paw up there and deflect the football. 2nd and 10. McAllister, a good pocket, throwing again, completes on a slant route to Kool-Aid, who has been just fantastic this entire season. Someone who McAllister has been able to go back to time and time again to rely on when a big play is needed inside of a minute remaining in this opening quarter. Here's McAllister throwing out of the backfield, giving an opportunity for the big stepper to try to get some yards in the receiving category, and he picks up 5. Someone in this first quarter who's been rather quiet, it's Thaddeus Bubba Rigg, the big-time fullback, who has really and truly at times took this entire team and put it on his shoulders on some of his carries this season. He's done a truly fantastic job. He's in the backfield as we speak as a lead blocker right there for the halfback, the big stepper. It's Demolition who gets the stop, and it's 3rd and 4. And that will bring us to the end of the opening quarter in Season 1, the AFA Championship. The Evan Lacey Trophy on the line, and the Patriots lead the Raiders 7-3 after 1. You're watching the AFA on YouTube. Welcome back. Cameron Duty here on the call with you as we celebrate the accumulation of an incredible debut season by the American Football Association with today's championship game. Oh, look at McAllister. Steps up, goes right through the gap, as a matter of fact, trying to pick up the first, trying to kind of fool this defense of the Raiders, but they were more wise. They pummel him into the ground, and now the punting unit will come on for the Patriots on a 4th and 2. This one is angled, trying to get a kick, possibly a coffin kick there. It will be fielded at the 10 and returned out to the 20-yard line for, it's Maccabees there who actually was on the return. So an interesting, aspect of the beginning quarter of this game that's now in the books. The Patriots up 7-3. That pass complete on a curl route to Dillian Voss, who picks up 6. But an interesting aspect, as I was speaking on, as we look at the pass chart here for Brady White, pretty good day at the office so far. We're missing, of course, the big play. That's probably to come. You know that there are going to be some chances in this game for Brady White to really make, take a big shot downfield. We've seen him try a couple of times with success, a couple of times not. This Patriots defense so far has been rather stout. Maybe even more stout than some people would have predicted after quarter number 1. Tangenti, though, a big run this time and a stiff arm to Joey Cronin. He isn't tackled, but Cronin able to kind of angle Tangenti and push him out of bounds for the 1st and 10. Two receivers to the right. Handoff and veering right side is Tangenti. He doesn't follow the blocking up the middle. He carves his own path, if you will, and he picks up 5. That's something that Tangenti does do. He will go off the block sometimes, kind of take his own approach out there and try to search out some, free real estate if he can find it, if he thinks the hole's going to open up. Here's Dillian Voss. Two receivers to the left. Play action. Brady White throwing down that seam. Completes it over top 2 defenders. That was his man Dillian Voss, who we've seen in motion. And Brady White looks his way as the offense starting to click here. We'll get a chance to look at this beautiful sky cam. You see over the top of 2 defenders, a nice window to throw it. And again, Brady White's one of those quarterbacks we talked about, the championship experience that he has. Always a great touch on that football. And again, just the perfect pass for that situation. As we see Tangenti up the middle, gets 4. Here they go. Back no huddle. Trevor Austin gets in position up there, and they snap it. Big run up the middle. Tangenti had the Patriots defense playing, back there, looking for maybe the deep route. Instead, they do the draw. Tangenti, and he takes it big for a first. Here's Brady White, steps up, throws middle of the field, complete to Trevor Austin. Another first down. The intent is to wear this Patriots defense out, and it may work as this game goes on. Split backs, Brady White throwing, end zone touchdown. Dillian Voss, what a drive and what a trick or two that the Oakland Raiders have up their sleeve for this championship game. Look at Brady White. An incredible drive that really happened in the blink of an eye. Almost too much to recap as quickly as it occurred. But a great timing. And when you go no huddle such as that, you got to have a quarterback that can do that. And Brady White is more than capable of making that happen. And so, delivering just perfectly accurate passes, leaving this Patriots defense. And look at that. That was 8 plays in just 2.5 minutes. If that tells you, just how aggressive, their play calling was, as well as their no-huddle, hurry-up offense. But it gives them their first lead of the day. The extra point is good. And 5:08 remains in the half. The Raiders have their first lead in the AFA Championship game. Here's Law. Brings this one out past the 20, out to the 22-yard line. Let's look at the Patriots' possessions. 3 punts. They did have the one good drive there that went 65 yards on 4 plays that resulted in the touchdown. But it's either been feast or famine for the Patriots after 4 series today. It's either resulted in a touchdown or really not much of a sustained drive to speak of. Something they'll want to try to clean up as this game goes on. Here's the big stepper with a big run. They try to utilize him in the same way the Raiders do Ashton Tangenti. Tangenti, as a matter of fact, was a big catalyst to that drive. The first couple of plays in that drive was getting him out in the open field. That opened up the pass attempt for Brady White. Once he got that first down to Dillian Voss, it was on after that. And you've seen how the drive accumulated. 2nd and 5. Up the middle goes the big stepper once more. This time he is met. Right up the middle. No, Drew stuffs that gap. And that should bring up about 3rd and 5. They'll say 3rd and 4 here for the Patriots. Now, we said they certainly need to convert here. They've came out, they've looked fantastic at times. Their defense looks swell. Their offense putting together a touchdown drive. They need this to go, and it's not going to. Pressure collapsing around Cannon McAllister. He was able to get rid of the ball as it floats forward for an incomplete pass. But again, as we said, that pressure getting to McAllister, they got to punt it away, and they're not able to extend this drive. Now, why is that such a bad thing? Well, of course, the obvious answer is that, you're not able to keep your offense out there and score any points. You give the ball back to Oakland. That's bad enough. What makes it that much more worse is the type of offense that Oakland is running today. They're gassed. The Patriot defense gassed. Gotta be, with the tempo that Brady White and company is continuing to display as this game goes on. The fact being that that's not a lot of time for a defense such as the Patriots to recover. You see the line shift there, 4 men up front. They bring pressure. That leaves one-on-one coverage on the outside. And easy work for Brady White to find Trevor Austin for the first down. Today, these two combined for 8 catches on the day, and they're just getting started. It's like a flick of the switch here with this Oakland offense. All of a sudden, they came into the second quarter trailing. They're going to make sure they don't leave it that way. That pass, not to their liking. That was thrown out there to the fullback, hoping for a little more room on that screen. It's actually a loss of 2, played well by the Patriots defense. Take a look, as we said, this receiving duo of Austin and Voss. Over 100 yards on the day, or close to 100 yards on the day, I should say. And a touchdown. Here's a big run by Tangenti. Felt like he was about to turn that one loose before he was stopped in his tracks. It's 3rd and 6 now coming up for the Raiders. This is a big play right here. This Patriot defense, they don't want to stay on this field any longer than they have to. Can they stop Brady White and the Oakland Raiders? He's under center, I formation in the backfield. Here is White. Throws, completes to Trevor Austin. We do have a flag. We'll see what the call is.
Pass interference, number 22. Defense.
They get pass interference on the defense. Of course, the Raiders will decline it. And the Patriot 30-yard line is where the Oakland Raiders will set up shop. That's a tough play. Right now, the Patriots wanting to get off the field desperately had a chance to make a stop. And perhaps, that resulted, as it was Trayvon Austin on the infraction, that might have resulted in him maybe being a little too hasty and getting in there and interfering with the pass as he was trying to get his defense off the field. Tangenti then runs for 2, as you see, and we may get one more play here in this second quarter before the 2-minute warning. Will he snap it? No. 2 minutes remaining in the first half of the AFA Championship game. The Raiders are up, and they're looking to extend their lead right here on YouTube. Inside the warm and comfy confines of the Superdome, New Orleans, Louisiana, the site of our first ever AFA Championship game. A beautiful host city indeed. Here's Brady White. Screen pass, not going to be able to connect with Tangenti. That actually falls incomplete. Maybe a little miscommunication there. It looked like Tangenti was looking for that one to go maybe a little more out front of him. Instead, it was behind Ash Tangenti. And it's 3rd and 8. Again, here is another opportunity for the Patriots to try to get off the field. Trips to the right of Brady White, one receiver to the left, one man in the backfield. Here's a quick release, throwing up and almost intercepted. Oh, man, that was Trayvon Austin, who almost had a hand as he was playing on Trevor Austin. Take a look at this. They got the matchup that they wanted, and it looked for just a moment like Trevor Austin was going to be able to bring that one in and just in stride, not even having to stop or just slow down on the route at all and walk it in for 6. But at the very last minute, you see number 22, the cornerback Trayvon Austin, come over and make the deflection. And that field goal is wide right for the Oakland Raiders. A fantastic drive that's going to end with no points. As we take a look at it from this angle, started out really good, and then it hits the goalpost. It started to wane to the left just a little bit, and you see there it doinks off the goalpost. It's the 3-point game, folks, with 1:50 remaining in the second quarter. Boy, what a game we've had. This has been truly an exciting first half. The Patriots now with a chance. McAllister throws out of the backfield. They're going to call that a fumble on Bubba Rigg. I can't see how he truly even had possession of it. I expected that to be ruled an incompletion, but we'll take a look. The Patriots were able to fall on it. Thankfully, Jebediah Butters was in the area. That'll go as a loss of 1. Inside of 2 minutes, you won't see a coach's challenge, nor will you see an official's challenge coming down from AFA headquarters. So that does go as a fumble, recovered by the Patriots, and a loss of 1. 2nd and 11, the clock keeps moving. 87 seconds remaining here in this half, and McAllister looked to step up again, and guess who got him? Kevin Beers. They're getting wise to that play. That's the second time, or no, I'm sorry. That's Colin Richards. Let me put credit where credit's due. That's 71 as opposed to number 77. Richards there, able to, again, get in with that little hesitation that McAllister has. Able to get the sack. It's 3rd and long. Clock continuing to run. Here's the throw. They're going to do screen out of the backfield. Nothing more there, unfortunately. And so the Patriots not able to capitalize. Since that touchdown drive, they went cold, to be quite frank about it. And once again, another punt. This may be, I believe this will be their 5th punt of the day already. They'll try to run as much clock out as possible before having to give the ball back to the Oakland Raiders. Play clock down to 4 before it's snapped. Pretty good punt here. Fielded at the 30. And an open field tackle at the 37-yard line. With 15 seconds remaining in the half, we'll see what Oakland will want to do. Brady White, you got to imagine he'll want to at least take one shot down the field to try to move the Raiders into field goal territory, try to redeem their special teams unit if possible. They would love more than a field goal, so we'll see how aggressive they want to play it here with just mere seconds remaining. Here's the pressure coming up the middle. That's Trey Ingram, the middle linebacker for the Patriots, who gets home, obliterates Brady White, and that may be the final play of the first half. Look at that. He couldn't sell it on the play action. They come in. It was like a fire squad. And that is how we end the first half on what has been an incredible start to this championship game. Oakland leads New England 10-7, but this game certainly hanging in the balance as we thought it might very well would after 2 quarters for the Evan Lacey Trophy that will be presented to the winning team 2 quarters from now. We welcome you into this AFA halftime report. Cameron Duty here with you back at the halftime desk. We'll take a look at the team comparisons to start with in this halftime report. Time of possession in favor of the Raiders, but other than that, pretty even game. Total yards, some more passes through the air. Brady White with 131 passing yards to the 86 of Cannon McAllister. The rushing game, pretty well even. Let's get to the highlights. Brady White over 131 yards a day, as I said, and a touchdown. Marvin with 1 of 2 on the field goals. That could loom large for the Raiders. Who knows? They lead by 3. It could be a 6-point lead, but at the end of that second quarter, that field goal from downtown hits the goalpost, and the Raiders, who had a beautiful drive, not able to capitalize. So that leaves us at 10-7. On the defensive front, Ingram and Austin, both for New England, leading with 4 tackles today. The Raiders, though, leading in sacks. Richards and Kevin Beers with a sack apiece. Although at the last minute there of the final play of the second quarter, as you've seen, Trey Ingram got a sack for the Patriots. Now, looking ahead to this third and fourth quarter, what needs to change? For the Raiders, I have to, the up-tempo, the hurry-up offense, that's certainly worked well at times. We expect them to go back to that potentially to try to wear this Patriot defense out. If I'm the Raiders, I'm not going to forget that ground attack, though. Ashton Jeanty, chewing up a lot of yardage, has helped Brady White, who is 11 of 18 on the day, have an opportunity to make some key passes. And for the Patriots, you're going to be able to find a way to get Thaddeus Bubba Rigg involved. Once you get him involved, and it's once again a two-headed tandem between himself and the big stepper, as well as Matt Jackson, who is in there at times on those formations. That tends to help the Patriots sustain drives, helps the passing department, doesn't put everything on Cannon McAllister's shoulders. We'll see what kind of adjustments these two teams make as we get started here for the third quarter on what's truly been, like we said, an exciting first half to this first ever AFA Championship. Here is the return. It's brought out around the 30. And you can see right there that missed field goal on an 8-play drive that looked as if it was going to put the Raiders up 13-7. Instead, leaves it a 3-point game. The Raiders will have a chance to make up some of that those lost points right here on this opening drive of the third frame. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. We've got Tangenti in the backfield. Here's Brady White dropping back deep, and they're going to get him again. The first play of the third quarter ends the same as the last play of the second. It was the big man, number 75, coming in unguarded, and it's those deep dropbacks where it seems as if they've had time to get in the backfield to Brady White. Not able to release the ball quickly, and this Patriot defense putting on the steam. Here they come again. It's picked up nicely, though, and almost intercepted. Trayvon Austin and Joey Cronin were right there in the area to deflect that one away. It's quickly a third down and long. And while Brady White has had a good game, there has been times when this Patriots defense has certainly got under his skin. As we said, third and long. This opening drive certainly not going the way that it was drawn up for the Oakland Raiders. 2 receivers lined up on either side. Here comes the pressure. White gets rid of it quickly into a pile. And are you kidding me? How did Dillian Voss come down with it? Incredible. Yeah, job well done. Nice little golfer's clap there by Brady White. Look at him. That is confidence in your wideout, Dillian Voss. When I seen that, I thought, oh, that's a danger zone right there. We know that Brady White can throw and will throw into tight windows. The risky pass, he's not afraid of it. Risk versus reward sometimes turns out better. And then there, in that case, it did. It extends the drive out close to midfield as Ashton Jeanty back with the carry for 7 yards on first down. I still can't get over that throw. That was it was incredible. The 3 Patriot defenders out there, ladies and gentlemen, and somehow Dillian Voss is able to answer the call and come up with that. I tell you what, this is a wide receiving unit that loves their quarterback, and they'll do anything for him. They'll life or limb, they'll risk it to make sure they come down with the pass. Here is a man in motion as we now see a carry. Tangenti with good blocking, able to hunt and find the open spot there and the coverage to pick up the first down as they move past midfield. That 3rd and 20 that they were just able to pick up. I know I'm still talking about that play, but that could be a turning point in this game for the Raiders. As we said, they were pinned back deep. The Patriots couldn't stop them, but here comes the pressure. Trey Ingram again right up the middle, and the Patriots are exploiting a gap that they have found, a weakness, a chink in the armor of this Raiders offensive line, and there it is. And they're sending that middle linebacker blitz. Trey Ingram coming in, and nobody's able to pick him up. It's a loss of 6. Can the Raiders come back from that again? That's the second sack of the drive. Now they give to Tangenti, who pops this one out right side and gets back past midfield. 4-yard gain. It's 3rd and long for the Raiders. What a defensive contest. This one has turned out to be no high-scoring affair here, none whatsoever. On 3rd and 12, here is a shovel pass, trying to utilize that play we've seen so many times out of the Raiders in their playbook the last couple of weeks, trying to draw everybody off with a shovel pass on 3rd down, not able to do it. This Patriots defense wins the battle. They couldn't stop them the first time on 3rd and 20, but they get them on 3rd and 12. And I got to believe that a lot of that's going to be due to that play call right there, that little shovel pass, that little flick of the wrist by Brady White's halfback. It's feast or famine on that play. We've seen it worked well at times, and when it doesn't, it's well short of the first. That punt fielded and ran out to the 18-yard line where New England will start for their first drive of the third quarter. Already just 4:49 remaining in the third, and the Patriots down by 3 in this championship contest. Here is McAllister rolling out, throwing. It's incomplete. DJ Kilgannon all over that one. Deflected the pass and was able to blast the intended target into another zip code all at the same time. Kilgannon, a very, very brutal, very physical, strong safety indeed. So 2nd and 10. McAllister under center. 3-step drop. Steps up slightly to throw, and he finds his wide out there, Jebediah Butters, on a little hook route. Picks up a few. They're going to say he has 3, and it's 3rd and 7. Now, this was the point that I kind of wanted to get back to. I mentioned it in the second half. Utilize your ground game here. You don't have to go to the air every single play. I think that's been a lot of the reasons why the Patriots have been forced off the field as much as they have been. But when they have to throw on 3rd down, there's Marley Cush, who adjusts his body, makes the perfect grab, and then cuts upfield for the first down. That's a good play call right there. I like that. Not a long time for that to develop. Gives an opportunity for Cush to get out there in the open flat. And before the Raiders secondary can get to him, he's got the first down. Here is a handoff to the big stepper running. One of the first times we've seen him today. I believe that is just his 2nd carry. But you see that kind of physicality that comes with Thaddeus Bubba when he is able to get his football or his hands rather, on the football. It's pure chaos. That's just the way he likes it. Raiders showing pressure here. 5 yards to go on 2nd down. And it's another give to Bubba. He's contained nicely as he's tackled by DeMarcus Demolition, who's had a very solid game in this championship effort. And it's 3rd and 3 for New England. An I formation. Does that give us an idea of what they want to do here? They're going to line up and go for the run? No. They'll pass. McAllister steps up and throws it to the halfback. They were going for the big fullback. Bubba Rigg, the pass off of his hands. Oh, incomplete. And this drive will stall out, and they'll have to punt it away at about the 38-yard line. That's unfortunate because the open room to run was there. McAllister stepped up and dumped that one off to Thaddeus Bubba, who was coming out of the backfield, and it just bounced off his hands. Here's Maccabees on a return out to the 40-yard line. Spotted at the 41. A really good return. Oh, and we've got an injury here, our first of the day. Unfortunately, it's Dexter Reed of the New England Patriots, who is favoring his left arm. Of course, folks, this is a good opportunity to give a public service announcement. If you are interested in being a part of Season 2 of the American Football Association, we would love to have you. Submit your player creations there if you want to be invited to take part in the Season 2 expansion draft. Please do so. We would love more than anything to have more people involved on this server. Go to the American Football Association Discord server. Join and get started in this great competitive league. You can make a difference. as Brady White's pass was too high for Trevor Austin to really bring in. And yeah, he took a shot, stretching out as wide as and as long as he possibly could to try to bring that one in. He left himself very vulnerable there. The ball flutters to the ground, incomplete. Also, some exciting off-season things coming up. We mentioned the expansion draft. 2 new teams, maybe some teams relocating. That's always a possibility, but we do know for sure 2 new teams entering the fray as the Giants, as the Dallas Cowboys and the Pittsburgh Steelers will be added as part of this team. As that pass incomplete, Brady White decides to throw that one away. He didn't like anything he sees downfield, and maybe a little bit of frustration there by Brady White as he walks back to the huddle. For the most part, this Patriot defense has done a phenomenal job of keeping him reined in. Trips to the left in this 3-point contest here. Here's the throw. Brady White going deep. Oh, this man gets it. That's Dillian Voss once more. Flips the field, as a matter of fact, well into New England territory. It's a first down for Oakland. Once more, the Skycam going to give us a look here. One-on-one, and he just asks his man to go up for it. And Dillian Voss, with great height, able to get up and over the man in coverage. You could tell that was a mismatch, a disadvantage there for the Patriots. Dillian Voss closing in on 100 yards on the day. Here is play action. White going to the end zone. He's got his man. Who is it? Guess who? It's Dillian Voss for the touchdown. And for the first time today, we see the Oakland Raiders with a separation, leading the Patriots now. And how big was that drive that ended for the Patriots when they couldn't get any points out of it and had to punt it away back to Oakland? That even rings more true here with 2:16 remaining in the third. Brady White to Dillian Voss over 100 yards now on 6 catches. A great route. That was a crossover there. They again got the mismatch they wanted with Voss flanked by number 24. That was actually talking about the player who checked in for the Patriots there. Dexter Reed, the injured strong safety. He's out. And that is who they have been targeting. The new kid on the block. And they as in the Oakland Raiders, make the Patriots pay. It's a 10-point lead now with 2:16 remaining in the third. The Patriots have no other choice but to respond with some points here. They went down the field early in the first quarter and put up the early lead. It was their second possession when they were able to do such. Since then, though, it's been a lot of special teams, a lot of punting that has taken place as the New England Patriots have yet to find the end zone once again. Boy, Dillian Voss making a play for MVP of this AFA Championship game. We'll see. Brady White's name, of course, going to be in there as well. 1st and 10 on the 23-yard line. Here is a give to the big stepper. Running left side, makes one man miss. There's a big block out front. He's going to be sprung loose. One man to beat, and they get him. That was Tyron Voss coming over with DJ Kilgannon also in pursuit. But they give up the big run, and that is what New England can do so well. Look at the blocking out front. Big one by big number 63. How about Marley Cush, who's able to push DeMarcus Demolition off his foundation right there. Get him just a little off kilter. And that sprung the big stepper, who now is over 50 yards. That was a 36-yard rush that puts them into Raider territory. Will the Raiders bring pressure? Here's McAllister. Gonna throw. Has his man adjusting as Jebediah Butters. This is a much better looking drive for the Patriots. I know it's just 2 plays in, but I like the urgency. I like the up-tempo-ness. Look at McAllister. 3-step drop and throws. Fits it in there as Tyron Voss was trying to deflect that one away.
1st and 10. Ball at the 27.
2 receivers to the right. We are a minute 16 away from the completion of this third quarter. Here's the throw. McAllister's pass for the big stepper, and it floats up there a little too long. It lingered, and it was dangerous because Van Lacey was in the area too. He makes a big play And there you see Reed on the sidelines trying to work to get back in this game and help his defense, who has been scorched by Brady White on the past 2 plays that resulted in another touchdown. Clock stopped at 1:13. 2nd and 10 here for the Patriots. Here's a throw into triple coverage, and this time they tested Van Lacey one too many times. Van Lacey, who has just a fantastic, who's had a fantastic season, comes up with his biggest play yet. Watch him. He's seen the eyes of the quarterback the entire time. They tested him a couple of plays ago, and the thing with McAllister is he's a great quarterback, but he's a gunslinger, and at the very same time, that has the potential to bite those type of quarterbacks. And while he can fit it in the tight windows and make big plays, he can also test the defense one too many times. And here comes Ashton Jeanty on the run out to the 40. That puts us inside a minute remaining in the third quarter. And incredibly enough, a game that has been so defensive-minded all of a sudden could start to have some offensive life to it by the Raiders late in this one. Toss play, running right side. Here's Tangenti with blocking out front. Great blocking indeed, and that is able to spring him for another first down. That was Dick Dangles, the tight end, who was blocking out front. We'll see it on the replay here. Look at Tangenti. Watch Dangles out front, springing this big block right there along the sideline. You see him kind of flash into view momentarily as Tangenti ran by. Half a minute remaining in this third quarter, and the Raiders moving past midfield, starting to look like this offense we've came to know and love. Here's the throw. Brady White, and Collinsworth, it's off his hands. He was wide open too, man. And you got to wonder where the miscommunication was. But for whatever reason, he was sprinting down the field, and it looked like maybe Collinsworth didn't expect Brady White to try to put that on his, across over his shoulder there, and instead it resulted in an incompletion. Trevor Austin goes in motion, looking for Voss once more. Yeah, we said this guy's making a play for MVP. There's another big first down, and quickly it feels like this Patriots defense is getting gassed, and this game is going further and further into the hands of the Oakland Raiders. That will be the final play of this third quarter. They will not make it back to the line. They won't even try. We are going to quarter number 4. Put your 4s up in the chat one more time, folks, on this Season 1 of the AFA. The Raiders lead the Patriots 1 quarter away from a champion being crowned. You're watching us right here, AFA, on YouTube. Cameron Duty with the call. One final quarter, and the Patriots hanging on for dear life. The Raiders want to try to tighten their grip on that lead. That pass incomplete, batted away by Trayvon Austin, who's had a really good day today. Back to the huddle they go, 2nd and 10. It's already a 2-score game here for the Raiders, leading on New England. They want to try to do more damage. Here's Brady White, throws into a pile. That's batted away by Brandon Robinson. Vrabel was in the area, who was also trying to deflect that one, or I should say pick it up off the turf for an interception. You see the sacking duo, Ingram and Wilfork has one as well for the Patriots, but they've not gotten to Brady White at the outset of this third and now into the fourth quarter, and he's going to walk, but he throws the interception. So, on a drive that looked as if it was going to be at least a field goal that the Raiders was going to get out of it, it's Trey Ingram, the middle linebacker, who says, you know what, I'm going to make you regret throwing that one, as he was trying to find Chris Collinsworth, who was in the vicinity. Again, just reading the eyes of Brady White that time. And fortunate that the Patriots defense was able to bail out their offense. And it's still a 10-point game, and New England still has hope, but they got to go. McAllister throws. It's incomplete. Jarred loose by Tyron Voss. We have called his name the entire day. He's been all over the place. You see McAllister's completion and attempts chart there. He's just been about everywhere except for that lower left side of the chart, as you see. Not doing much there in the way of wide receiver screens or halfback screens out of the backfield to the left side. 2nd and 10. Man in motion. Here's McAllister going to throw. It's tipped away. Tater tots. And you could hear it from up here how when he got his hand, it was like a volleyball serve or something. I mean, he just smacked that like it was a volleyball and spikes it to the ground. Incomplete. McAllister now 4 incompletions in a row. Before that, it was the big interception. And they've got to convert here. McAllister going to go deep. And look at it. Oh, he's got his man. It's Jebediah Butters. The defender fell down to the 10-5. Touchdown, New England. And that is how you take away the interception, the 4 incompletions in a row. You draw back and you throw this beauty. And it was tater tots. One-on-one coverage. The cornerback tater tots on Jebediah Butters. He went for the interception. He misses, comes up eating turf. And Butters runs into the end zone for the touchdown. The extra point now by Brody Pierre to make this a 3-point game. It is good. Holy Toledo. Excitement here in the Superdome. Points off turnovers. The big interception made by Trey Ingram. We've called his name a lot today. He's got a couple sacks, and now he has an interception that has now led to that big bomb by Cannon McAllister to Jebediah Butters for the touchdown to get them within 3 on this AFA Championship game. Here's a run. Left side, that's Maccabees. Brings it out to the 35-yard line. A fantastic return. $7:27 remaining here in the fourth quarter. The Raiders now got to play it a little bit tighter, a little bit more. They certainly don't have any room for error. Here's a run by Tangenti. Bounces out left side. Good job of being patient, waiting for the hold to form, and he picks up 7. Over 100 yards today for Ash Tangenti. He's had just a phenomenal day. Had a phenomenal season. One of the premier halfbacks here in the AFA. They give it to him again. He's not done. Again, left side. Gets the first down. And you know what this is about. Running, it's going to set up, a pass attempt or two for Brady White, but mostly continuing to eat the clock. And this is where we stand now inside of 7 minutes in this final quarter at the Superdome. Big thanks to Brady White and the entire AFA staff for an incredible season, a job well done, and now we're celebrating with an incredible championship game. Here is a wide receiver, or I should say a halfback screen. That's Tangenti who takes off and picks up the first. So when the game is on the line, you need some clock ran down and you need some first downs. You give it to number 24. And here's Tangenti. As you see Brady White throwing back across his body. Maybe a play that you wouldn't advise many quarterbacks to do. But when you've got the skill set of Brady White, you can get away with it. It was Trayvon Austin who made the tackle. You see the receiving comparisons there. Butters and Voss, the two leading men for the Patriots. Here's Brady White going to roll out right, looking to extend that lead once more, and he's going to do so. Trevor Austin, touchdown. The Patriots got within 3, but the Raiders made sure that didn't last for long. Trevor Austin had a busy day today, indeed. Look at Brady White throwing, and the exact same thing that bit Tyron Voss, or I should say Tater Tots, on that previous play also happened to Ty Law right then on that coverage for the Patriots. Going up for the interception, instead of trying to deflect it away, instead of trying to make a tackle, and then Trevor Austin takes off. The extra point is good, and it is once more a 10-point lead for the Oakland Raiders with 6:18 remaining. Brady White coming uncorked here later in this game as it continues to dwindle down the final moments of this first season of the American Football Association. The Patriots again needing a big response, and they don't get it. Instead, the ball is popped loose on the return, and the Raiders fall on it. That could indeed be the season for the Patriots. Just like that, in the blink of an eye, in a game that's been played so well today by the Patriots, a special teams turnover may be their downfall. They give it to Ashton Genty, who runs hard up the middle for a gain of 7. It's kind of hard to even process it on that kick return. I mean, a great special teams play by the Raiders, knocking the ball loose, big number 90, falling on it, and now the Raiders are in business, and it's Tangenti who won't be denied. Adding to his 100-plus yard day, he gets a touchdown in the championship game, and the route is on. Oakland extending their lead with an extra point. It will be 31-14. This game, the score will not be a good, accurate description of just how close this game was. It was a 3-point game not 2 minutes ago, okay? When I say 2 minutes on the game clock, folks. It was a 3-point game. The Patriots had just made it, 17-14. They were within 3 points of the Raiders. The Raiders were 17. New England was 14. The Raiders have now scored 2 straight touchdowns in less than 2 minutes. And it's now 31-14. And if you are the Patriots, and this is brought out to the 27-yard line, if you are the Patriots, you got to be stunned. Your mouth has to be, agape at this point. At times in this game, it felt like the Patriots could have the upper hand, the pendulum swinging in their favor. An opportunity to, at times, maybe even overtake the Raiders. They led a good portion of this game, and even when they got behind, they were never out of it until the 2 big turnovers, the interception, and then, or I should say, it was the touchdown play that got them within 3, and then after that, Brady White went on a tear, and then the turnover, the fumble, the special teams fumble by Ty Law that spelled their doom, as Ashton Genty was then able to run it into the end zone for a touchdown. The Patriots, though, they'll keep fighting. That's Butters. The pass is incomplete. It's 3rd and 10. .5:32, 5 minutes and 32 seconds away from crowning a champion in the American Football Association, and it looks very well like it's going to be the Oakland Raiders. On 3rd and 10, here's the Patriots trying to scratch and climb their way back in here if at all possible. McAllister under pressure, feeling the anxiety of the moment, and it's incomplete. 4th and 10, here's the punting unit. New England will opt to not go for it on this side of the field. And so an opportunity for the Raiders to not only put more points on the board, but continue to take more time off the clock. It's a good punt. Really good punt, as a matter of fact. And here's a return by Maccabees out to the 38-yard line. What an incredible first season it was, folks. 4 teams got us started off. The Oakland Raiders, the New England Patriots, the San Francisco 49ers, and the New York Giants. The 49ers and the Giants with the 2 lower ranks coming into the playoffs. They gave both these 2 teams, the Patriots and the Raiders, a run for their money. Didn't matter what the regular season results was, as that pass is complete. Dillian Voss with the near first down, gain of 9. But that was one of the beauties of this 4-team league and the playoff settings that boded well. You know, as we said, the 49ers and the Giants had the worst record in the league. So they ended up playing the Raiders with the best record in the league. They came into Oakland's black hole, the Oakland Coliseum, and gave the Raiders a run for their money well into that game before the Raiders were able to take over. And for the Patriots, in snowy Foxborough, they had to overcome a great contest by the San Francisco 49ers, who played them so closely. It came down to the wire, and a last-second score put the Patriots on their way to New Orleans to play for the championship. And so a job well done to all the teams out here. Even, as we said, the 49ers and Giants who were not able to participate in today's championship game. There will be more players, more competition coming, as that is Tangenti who gets the first down. And we invite each and every one of you, as you see, 431 yards allowed in this game, most of it coming here in the third and fourth quarter as this defense has gotten picked apart. But we invite you to continue to subscribe, of course, to the Discord server, subscribe to this to this AFA channel on YouTube. I'll get it out. The AFA channel on YouTube, because more content will be coming in Season 2. As we said, expansions going from 4 teams to 6 teams. More players coming into the server each and every day. If you're not a part of it, come be a part of it. Get your name out there. Get your name on a jersey. Develop a player. Get drafted this offseason. We got a Pro Bowl coming this offseason too. That's going to be a lot of fun. So there's going to be a lot of things. We're going to have a draft selection show coming up. That's going to be a thrill. So get involved in this league. Get your hands on. Continue to help us grow and be a place for athletes of the sim world to continue to grow and develop. Inside of 3 minutes here, and the Raiders continuing just to give the ball to Tangenti. And why not? Right now, this Patriot defense is just wore out. They have spent a lot of time out there, like we said, a lot of it here in the second half, in the third and fourth quarter. And so exhaustion starting to show on a Patriots team that had such a good game going. I mean, it was a heck of a game. Heck of a game plan. Playing the Raiders tight, physical. Offense was able to put some points on the board and move down the field. And then the Raiders took over the defense, making big plays on special teams. And then Brady White and his arm with some big touchdown bombs. And then they relied on Ash Tangenti on the ground. And you see him still going to work here. Big holes to run right through. And we are at the 2-minute warning. The only thing standing now between the Raiders and the Evan Lacey Trophy is the 2-minute warning. You're watching the AFA on YouTube. Cameron Duty here with you for the final 2 minutes of Season 1 of the American Football Association. And an I formation, that's not Brady White in there. They have taken him out. And they are letting some of their second stringers in here who haven't had a chance to play much of the season. They're letting them get a couple of reps in before this season's over, getting them a chance to experience what it's like being in there in a championship game. And the Patriots take their second timeout. Won't be much more. One timeout left to be taken by the Patriots. You see the red zone. Inside the red zone here are the Raiders, who are just lining up to run it right down the Patriots' defensive throat, if you will. On the carry, not much more, but the most important thing, that final timeout. And so, now we'll start to see the clock start to melt away a little bit here. 2nd and 8. And the celebration beginning on the sidelines here for the Raiders as they've got their second string out here, still moving the football. But no longer can the Patriots stop the clock. And now it's celebration time for the Oakland Raiders. And you think about their season, just a couple of losses on the whole year. They've been incredible. The way that they have been able to play as a unit, executing with high-flying offense and just defense that you would expect of a team called the Raiders. That gets back to the line of scrimmage. Not much more. Robinson making the tackle. And on 4th and 6, you will get an opportunity to see a field goal here. That's going to leave just a couple of seconds left hanging out there for the Patriots to do something with, try to get some last-minute points or some last-minute yardage before this game is over. There won't be much left, looking at about roughly 20-ish seconds, give or take a few. What is a 27-yard field goal attempt to make it a full 20-point lead here. The kick is good with 22 seconds remaining. It was a 12-play, 52-yard drive that took 5 minutes off the clock. And it's incredible, really. As we said, we went into the fourth quarter with a 3-point game. It was 17-14. Oakland was leading New England. And it has been a dominant fourth quarter by the black and silver. And maybe that's a very appropriate way for the season to end for the champion Raiders. The way that they have, that fourth quarter is the way they have played this entire season when it comes down to the very last few minutes of a game and you need a play and you need to seal the deal. The Oakland Raiders have been able to do so each and every time when it mattered. And they did so again here today. The final snaps for Cannon McAllister, who, as we said, McAllister, he came in late in this season. Here is a throw to Bubba Rigg. He gets a reception before this one's over. He came in about 3 weeks into the season. We first seen McAllister in the Turkey Bowl. Remember that? That was the Thanksgiving special we did, the exhibition matchup, the little all-star game that we had for fun. Yeah, that's when we first seen Cannon McAllister. It was the next week that he was under center for the first time for the Patriots. Turned their season around, folks. And what a great season it was for the Patriots, making it all the way here to the championship game at the Superdome. Final play, the final seconds ticking off. McAllister throws. It's incomplete. And the Oakland Raiders will celebrate. It is celebration time for the Raiders. 34-14. Oakland, you're winning the Evan Lacey Trophy. And it's got to feel so good. The celebration going back into the locker room on an incredible night. We welcome you in to this post-game wrap-up here as we take a look at the final stats and we get to see who the player of the game will be. And you see the stats are going to look completely dominant by the Raiders. I promise you, folks, It wasn't always this way. The fourth quarter, the Raiders took over, but in the end, that's all that matters. That final score, the Raiders are bringing home the championship to Oakland, Season 1 champions of the American Football Association. The only thing left to figure out who is going to be our MVP of the game, who is going to be the MVP of the Season 1 AFA Championship. And I've got a couple of guesses. I think that you're going to be looking at Brady White, possibly Dillian Voss. I think it's down between those two. They had some incredible plays today. Brady White slinging that one around the Dillian Voss. Brady White, 3 yards shy of a 300-yard game. He does get the 3 touchdowns in his favor. And as far as Dillian Voss, hopefully we'll get a chance to see his stats here. 148 yards and 2 touchdowns. So there are the 2 candidates. I think we're going to probably end up giving this one to Brady White. I would split it right down the middle between the two. You can't have one without the other, right? It takes 2 to tango. So for me personally, that's who I would pick a job well done to. And we'll see what the league has determined. Here we go. The player of the game, the MVP of the AFA, it goes to Dillian Voss, who gets the MVP of the AFA Championship game. Congratulations to Dillian Voss. Congratulations to each team that participated in the AFA this season. It's truly been incredible. And in the end, congratulations to the Oakland Raiders, who wins by a final here in Louisiana. Until next season, I'm Cameron Duty. We will see you for Season 2 of the AFA coming soon. Good night.